Good evening, everybody. It's a big night because not only is it the regular meeting, but it's the first time we've been able to have a regular meeting since COVID hit us a year ago. I want to welcome everybody. I don't have to remind everybody that April 15th is coming because they pushed the IRS deadline back to May 15th. So we should be good there. And with that, I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a brief invocation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with us during this meeting, guide our decisions, and may they be in the best interest of this community. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have a roll call of the Village Council for attendance.
President McDonald?
Here.
Trustee Sotheby is here. Trustee Arundel?
Here.
Trustee Swack?
Here.
Trustee Kennedy?
Here. And we'll note for the record that Clerk Cindy Groskoff is excused tonight and Treasurer Judy Verse is present. Okay. In your packets, we were late getting the minutes, so they weren't sent out to you. So you will find in your packets the minutes from last month's meeting. I'll give you a moment to review it. Once you've had a chance to review it, a motion to approve or modify those minutes would be in order. Are you folks together?
Yeah.
We are.
You're allowed to sit together if you want. As long as you're
Rearrange your room.
as long as you're a unit, you know. Okay.
I know this is a little off, but Jennifer, do you want to stand up and introduce yourself? Because these guys, I know, will all be wondering who you are. And
Really self-conscious. I'm Jennifer Handicapped, and this is my boyfriend Matt McCool, and we moved into the house next to Sinclair, or I forget what you guys call it.
Studio 44, the old Studio 44.
Okay, well,
Yep.
so I moved into 4464 last October.
Okay.
And right now, Matt and I are working on renovating the commercial space because we'd really like to bring some new business into the area.
It sounds great. Welcome. Welcome.
And like you said, I'm Matt. And I don't live with Leonard yet. This is her house. I'm probably moving in sometime in the next few weeks or so. And I hear there's big changes, so I'm here to support.
Well, thank you for your interest.
Thank you for coming, guys.
And if in the course or after the meeting, if you're interested, we do have a few letters of support for a ring sewer system. In case you haven't heard about it or had the opportunity, you're welcome to take a letter and sign it and just put your address on it or write your own. But our deadline is basically tomorrow. We have to get all of our letters and application together. It's not due until the 16th, but we really need to get things put together and packaged. Right now, there's 51 applications have been submitted to Congresswoman Slotkin for projects, for an appropriation. So I think we have a chance because it's needed. The health department, you know, what we've gone through over the years is puts us up there. The downside is we're not a huge community, you know, so we need all the letters we can get, let's put it that way, so that they see that there is support for the project. Okay,
We should send as a percentage of population then, not necessarily a quantity.
There you go.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting, the March 8th meeting.
Thank you.
I will second that motion.
Motion by trustee Swack, supported by trustee Arundel. There are no questions on the motion. We can have, we don't need a roll call vote.
We are-
So, all in favor, when you're doing electronic meetings, you have to do it all by roll call. So, all those in favor of the motion to approve the minutes of the March 8th meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Very good, thank you. Okay, the council has also received an agenda. It's a long one, unfortunately, I apologize, but it just seems like things exploded in March. There is a modification under number 12 for planning commission appointment. I did not hear back from the person I asked. It doesn't mean that they don't want it, they just hadn't got back to me, so I'm going to change that to the meeting calendar, where we'll adopt our meeting calendar for 2021. And then, does anybody else have anything?
Yeah.
I'd like to add just a quick discussion about sidewalks this year.
Which sidewalks?
Sidewalk repair,
Oh, okay.
or at least an evaluation of the sidewalk.
Okay, so for 13, we'll have sidewalk.
Oh, I see.
I'd like the historical group added to the meeting dates as well,
Okay.
or if you wanted a separate, whatever you want to do.
No, we can add it, but you
Okay.
give us a brief explanation at that time?
Sure.
Okay.
And then I would like to add the GMAR placemaking grant is back again for the month of April.
So what?
I'll get to that. Free money, because I'm a real estate agent.
That's great. That's good news.
It's an opportunity again,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, with those amendments, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Okay, motion by trustee Swack, supported by trustee Kennedy, to approve the amended agenda. All in favor of that motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. Council has received the treasurer's report.
I have something to add to that.
Okay.
Under communities decorating, the current month should have been $737.51, with the year-to-date total is $737.55. $737.51.
It's here today. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. With that amendment, are there any questions on the treasurer's report? If none, a motion to receive and file an approved report would be in order.
I so move.
I second that.
Motion by trustee Sotheby, supported by trustee Arundel, to approve the treasurer's report as amended. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, could we have a roll call for that, Shar, at your convenience?
Trustee Arundel,
Yes.
trustee Swack,
Yes.
trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
President McDonald,
Yes.
trustee Sotheby, yes.
Okay. Treasurer's report is approved. If you flip the report over, the accounts payable are on the back side of it. Are there any questions, changes, or corrections? If none, motion to pay the bills for March would be in order.
I would like to motion that we pay the general bills out of $6,816.08, and to major $5,790.69, local 0, mills and parking 0.
Okay. Is there a second for that?
I'll second.
Thank you. So the motion by trustee Arundel, second by trustee Kennedy to pay the bills in the amounts stated. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call for that, please?
Trustee Swire?
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy? President McDonald?
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby? Yes. Trustee Arundel?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. Okay. Next item on our agenda is the public comment. At this time, we open the floor up to the residents or public present. It's an opportunity for you to direct comments and questions to the village council. The council may or may not be able to respond, but we will follow up if there is something in particular. So with that, and we ask that you be brief and to the point. So with that, I'm smiling, I'm sorry, but Cindy's one of our regulars. So, and that's a good thing.
It's been here a long time.
That's a good thing. So
Good thing you said that.
who would like to raise their hand or to be recognized? Cindy, go ahead.
Okay, you know, I see it's on there. I want to know about these signs. We're already having issues. You've heard.
I know. Don and I cleaned the truck up so that we could use it to get the poles in. We've got the poles in the pole barn, so it's just a matter of getting out and getting them in, Cindy. I've actually, Miss Dig has to come out and approve the locations, but...
And do we know when any of this has taken place? That's the problem.
Well, the problem is that, yeah, we're kind of defined by Don's availability schedule. So, it's on our list to do ASAP, let's put it that way. But, I know, Cindy, but it'll get done.
ASAP works.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna try and get signs up on several of the telephone poles in one direction. And then, and we're actually gonna be putting up more signs than are required, just to kind of get that message across. We learned that a little bit about that up on North Rochester Road or Forest Street. We added a couple 35-mile-an-hour signs, and the resident up there said it seems to have, when you see it repeated close together, people pay heed, so.
Well, I hope so.
But I wish I could give you, I really wish, I would like nothing better
Well, that
than.
kind of falls into my next question.
Okay,
And I want you to understand, I am not dissing Donnie at all because he does a great job.
Yeah.
But he's got a full-time job, and I
Right.
understand he doesn't want to work. He's got to rest at some point and have a life.
right.
Have you thought about getting somebody part-time that can fill in when he's not?
Well, I asked Fred, but Fred said no.
Actually,
I'm
you thought
teasing.
about- No.
I'm
You
teasing.
thought about for a second that he
Yeah.
wants to work on a horse farm.
Yeah, no, yes, I've kicked it around with Don. The problem is getting someone, that's got some
Reliable.
familiarity and knowledge about.
It doesn't have to be the village though, does it?
Oh, no, you don't have to live in the village.
Because from what I understood, Linda and Marina told me there was somebody interested at one time.
The only other person, well, yes, I've had a couple of inquiries, but not from outside the village. So I don't know.
Do we have it posted somewhere?
No.
Okay.
See, I personally, because it's a necessity. The roads aren't being done, the grass is gonna be sky high because there's nobody to do it. I think it should be posted in the paper and put up here with some kind of color that draws attention. I'm serious.
Oh, I know you are.
Well, come on. I have a question. Do any of you drive down Basin Street? Or any of these back roads?
Well, Basin, we just graded most of
Go
Basin.
down them right now, Mike.
Did the weather get to it?
It probably is.
It's not gonna, I'm telling you, Fred's this close to disking it again.
Well, we've got, Don was arranging for chloriding, so that's coming up too.
But I wanna know, do any of you drive down these dirt roads? I'm not hearing a thing. So none of you know what shape they're in.
I was just down it a couple days ago.
What road?
Beza. And I was looking for something, but yeah.
And what's your response to that?
It was okay. I guess I'm used to dirt. I'm sorry, but I mean, I grew up on dirt roads, so to me it's a dirt road.
We pay taxes just like everybody else, and that's supposed to be part of,
I understand that.
and it's not getting done.
So
Well-
why don't we propose this instead of getting off and staying on this? Why don't we just put up a posting, if you could, on the site? My motion would be that we're looking for somebody part-time to fill in when Donnie can't. And let's at least move forward with that.
Well, whoever it is gonna have to work for Don.
Right.
Because a lot of that's expensive equipment and it's dangerous. I mean, there's this element of danger every time you operate something
People
like
can be
that. So,
trained.
right.
It's
They
just
can,
having
but-
time with Don to train them and make sure
Yeah,
that everything's,
Again, I'm fine with this. I mean, I wish I could find somebody, you know.
I know, but, I mean, we won't find anybody unless we advertise
Well,
for it, so.
Yeah,
And we can just say that, you know, they would work under Don,
Okay.
trained, and then we're looking for a part-time person.
okay.
Fair? You're welcome.
And hopefully it'll go somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Anything else, Cindy?
You can put that.
I don't know, let me think, keep going.
Okay.
Something else.
Does anybody
The
else,
signs of the road are the big one.
I put the wrong thing.
does anybody else have a comment or anything?
Mike, can you just give Alex the intro to put up on the website?
Okay.
We're looking?
Yeah, won't take long.
Okay. Thank you, Alex.
Yep.
All right, if there's nobody else, we'll move on to new business.
Wait a second. Apparently you said something about those yes papers, because I'm not seeing them anymore.
What?
Those papers she likes to throw out in everybody's yard.
Oakland Press?
No, I think it's, remember we had such an issue and it was stopped for a while? And then she started up again and papers everywhere, because people don't like
It's
picking them
the-
up, I guess.
The supplement that goes to the, I
Yes.
guess, the Detroit News, Detroit
Yes.
Free Press that's thrown out
Oh, okay.
Saturday night or Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know when she does it.
is it only one lady that does the whole village?
I don't know, he talked to her one time.
Gwendolyn or something?
Hey, that was years ago.
Oh,
She's
what's
like
that?
the, she's the same lady though. Her name pops up all the
Yeah.
time for paper.
I talked to the people at Oakland Press.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't
it's
talk,
not the Oakland
I've
Press.
never had
It's not-
any dealings with anybody at the Free Press.
is
You
it?
don't get those papers thrown in your yard?
No.
Knock on
we
wood.
haven't- At least
No.
over by me, we haven't had them.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I thought maybe you said something, because I'm not seeing them either, and I appreciate that, because,
Is it Genevieve?
Yes.
I don't know.
That I've got her phone number. I don't know why.
What is it?
It's 248-904-0629.
Because the newspapers wave around the freedom of the press banner when they say, if you try to restrict us. Well, the law says they're allowed to do what they're doing, but it has to be on private property. It can't be on public property. Well, no, they always throw it right at the foot of the driveway, and the public right-of-way is another 20 feet
Oh,
deep normally on most streets. So
So
they
technically
can't
not
throw
part
it
of
on
that.
that property. It's illegal. But they argue about it, but.
I don't know how they can say that when they don't pick them up and then it's everywhere, so to me, that's littering.
it's literal,
Well,
yeah.
Steve Edgar went around with his golf cart about
Yes.
3 years ago,
Yes.
and didn't have enough room for all
I
of the
know.
papers that he picked up that they just
I
thrown.
picked up a few myself just to
So-
keep them off
She's the
our
Free
property.
Press.
Yeah,
Contact them.
okay, thanks.
I hate to do this, but I'd like to make a motion to limit the conversation to about 3 minutes, because otherwise we're gonna be here till 12 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah,
Agenda that we have.
I apologize.
We need all set up a timer.
No, no,
Kids down here.
that's fine. Okay,
I'll play with them.
now I'm going to new business. Points well taken, Cindy, okay?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
The first item is the local road improvement program with Oakland County Board of Commissioners. The council members are familiar with this program because we've participated in it for several years now. This year, they're matching $3,191. So if the village is willing to commit that much to, the work we do has to benefit the businesses of the village or be an economic development driver. So what I'm suggesting is that we continue the project that we had last year, was to make improvements on Beza Street, Division Street, and especially Division, because it sees the heavy trucks from Cooper Standard. Don suggested that we get more asphalt millings rather than dirt,
That holds up better.
and put that down along that way, which is what we had almost 10 years ago now. So with the council's support and authorization, I will enter into I'll enter the application for that money for that purpose. Are there any
I'll
questions?
make a motion to,
One question, is that
Yeah.
something we could also apply, like money for chloriding, extra chloride to Basin Street for?
The only way we could use that is if we put down new gravel. You can't use it for regular maintenance. It has to be a specific project. So last year we put down gravel and we removed some of the shoulder berms,
Sure.
especially up here on Whitehead Street and North Street, not North, Whitehead, what comes down Center Street? Center Street. Because they serve the downtown, a lot of the trucks and that. So you can rationalize or you can demonstrate that commercial traffic is basically for business. So I'm going to do the same thing this year. I'm going to suggest that we just continue to improve those roads. Hopefully they'll accept that.
On the chloride issue though, I know last year you said if we need it, we could call
Yes.
and get it.
Yes.
Because with the Pollyanne Trail people, holy crap.
Yeah, well,
Enough.
it still stands. If we need to either do the road or just the parking lot, that's, I don't remember getting
We
a
need
call.
it more than one time, I know
Yeah.
that. Two would probably
Yeah.
be sufficient.
Well, that's what Don and I were kind of doing this weekend, was looking over, trying to figure out when we're going to do what. Okay, so is there a motion then to authorize the village president to enter into the,
I'll make that motion.
okay, thank you, Jim. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by trustee Swack, supported by trustee Kennedy, to authorize the village president to apply for the local road improvement program with Oakland County Board of Commissioners. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, I think we'll have to do a roll call because that involves
Money.
expenditure.
Trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
President McDonald,
Yes.
trustee Sutherland, yes. Trustee Arundel,
Yes.
trustee Slack.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next item's one of the more enjoyable things we deal with. The Salvation Army approached the village because they're celebrating 100 years at their Echo Grove camp. And even if you aren't a Salvation Army supporter or benefactor, a lot of us have benefited from it over the years. They take pretty good care of their property, but they run a really good recreation program for kids
Yes.
locally, not just from other areas. So they've asked, and I have agreed to put it to the village council, that they adopt a resolution supporting them and their celebration of 100 years here in Addison Township. So would there be a motion?
I would like to motion that we endorse the Salvation Army celebrating their 100 years.
Second that.
Okay, motion by trustee Arundel, second by trustee Swack to approve the resolution. Any questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to adopt the resolution for the Salvation Army, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. The next item is the agreement. This would technically be an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Leonard and the Township of Addison. They have agreed to fund $11,000 to be made payable directly to Rowe Professional Services for the sewer study that we are basically ready to perform. The township board has approved it, and it's only for us now to approve it, to enter into the agreement, and then we can go ahead and schedule the study to be performed. So are there any questions on the agreement? If none, a motion and a second would be in order to authorize the village president to enter into that agreement.
I would like to motion that we enter into this agreement with Addison Township, paying the $11,000 towards the sewer study of $25,000.
$24,500.
$24,500.
Right, thank you.
And I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Motion by trustee Arundel, second by trustee Swack, to authorize the village president to enter into the agreement with Addison Township for the sewer study. Are there any questions on that motion? Hearing none, I think we should do a roll call on that as well.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby, yes. Trustee Arundel?
Yes.
Trustee Swack?
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion carried. Okay, following up on that activity, we have before us the agreement with Rowe Professional Services to authorize them to perform that study at a cost of $24,500. Through the agreement we just signed with Addison Township, we will not only be receiving the money, but we are also going to share all of the deliverables that this arrangement will make. So at this time, I'm asking the village council for the authorization of the village president to enter into this agreement for the terms and expenses that were set forth in it and that you received.
Does Road Services say how long it'll take them to do the study?
I didn't understand, sorry.
Does Road Services say how long it'll take them to do the study?
He said it'd be a couple months at least,
Okay.
because of there are components with data collection, and then they are going to do some meetings with representatives from Oakland County, et cetera, and so that all has to be scheduled, so yeah. It should get easier unless the governor puts us back under the COVID restrictions, but sooner the better.
Does it take into account sampling of the water sources as this agreement sets forth that we have to do?
Well, this agreement basically goes back to the Water Resources Commission for that data. And I have spoken with the Water Resources Commission, and they are going to test this year, in fact, this week. Weather permitting, they're going to hit some of the same test locations between Leonard and Upper Lakeville Lake. So we will have brand new data. And
To compare to old.
that will not be part of the cost of this. The cost will be covered by the maintenance fees that residents and people that are in the special assessment district for those Clark and Leonard drains are paying. So that would not be an add-on to this. And the Water Resources Commission has agreed to that, so.
Okay, I just want to make sure that.
Right. Okay. Okay, so is there a motion then to authorize the village president to sign this agreement with Rowe?
I feel like this is a move that bus moment, like sign that document. Yes, I make a motion to start that study.
Okay. Motion by trustee Swax, second by trustee Arundel, to authorize the village president to enter into the agreement between the village and Rowe Engineering for the sewer study as presented.
It's exhausting.
Could we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Sotheby, yes. Trustee Arundel?
Yes.
Trustee Swack?
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
I feel like we shall be going.
Okay, thank you for that. Next item on your agenda, and there is no written information related to it. Cooper Standard, they've been an active and involved community member. They've really supported the village in a number of different areas. They've always left their used pallets out back by their rear shipping dock and allowed people to come and pick them up and burn them and take them, you know. They've received a direction from the corporate headquarters that they are no longer to do that they are to dispose of them, but immediately. I don't know if it was out of the generosity of their heart or the possibility that it would save them money disposing of them, but they said, they called the village and asked if we wanted to take them from them so that people could pick them up from us.
Oh,
And I have to tell you that it sounds like a good idea, but I have real reservations about doing that because we would then be responsible for the accumulation, and
Right.
if they don't get taken, if people,
you're gonna have a pallet.
I have a hard enough time getting enough hours out of Don, let alone
Right.
having them play with something like that. So as much, there is some benefit locally, but as village president, I'm going to recommend that we decline to take them from them for those reasons.
Agreed.
So if everybody is okay with that, subject to making a motion, I will just send them and subject to making a motion otherwise, I would just send them a note saying that we considered it and declined to, we appreciate the opportunity, but declined to do it.
Yes.
Did they say why they didn't want people taking it anymore?
I don't think they were pleased about it, but they said it was a corporate directive.
They probably had an issue somewhere.
And yeah, it's a global company, maybe it's just one of those things where,
A lot of people go onto their property, whether they're supposed to or not. I watch it all the time, as you probably do. And it's a liability for them.
Well, that I understand.
Yeah.
You know, when we were shut down, there were kids skateboarding up and down where their deliveries were coming in, unaccompanied by adults. Some were teenagers, but still in all. Had they broken an arm or a leg, they'd have come down on them and the village of
And do
Leonard.
you see them at the Leonard Mill all the time now?
Yes, I do.
Skateboarding? Okay. I thought of that today, I thought, oh boy.
Yep,
You know, it's too bad, because
yeah.
where do they go? But
right.
Oh, there's places they can go if they really want. It's convenient.
Okay, so we can move on then. And I'm going to have to defer to Judy. Judy, are we ready to, I know we got the paperwork and that from the Michigan Municipal League for insurance, but are we going to wait till May to do that? Or can we do that now?
You can do it now. It's not due till July 1st. That's
Okay.
when the new one starts, July 1st.
Yeah, do you know, I didn't bring the paperwork down on it because I wasn't sure if we were actually going to do this. Do you know the cost? Is it? Yeah, I think we'll set this aside if that's okay with the council, because I don't want to ask you to approve something until we know all the details. I saw that it had come in and I glanced at it. It didn't appear different from previous premiums, et cetera, but in the interest of getting it right, we'll set this aside.
What sort of insurance is it?
The umbrella policy for the village.
Gotcha.
DPW, workers' comp, all
Gotcha.
that stuff.
There'll be two separate workers' comp and
Right.
umbrellas.
Gotcha.
Okay, the next item is purchases for the downtown area. The decorating committee has done a terrific job of fundraising and advocating for the village in order to get new benches, bicycle racks, etc. So I just as soon turn this over to Trustee Arundel going forward as far as how you would like to approach this.
Well, first, I would like to thank everyone from the village and outside the village who actually donated for the fundraiser, which, as we all know, the fundraiser was to help raise money to bring in benches, sidewalks, for the sidewalks, benches, bike racks, planters, garbage cans. Again, trying to bring a cohesive, that quaint village vibe back to Leonard. So again, I'd like to thank everybody who actually donated. I think we had 43
43 at least.
residents and businesses out of everyone who actually donated, which brought us in over $3,000. Again, every penny will probably go to everything that we're trying to accomplish down here. I think I sent you guys the quote. I went out to 3 different vendors looking for prices. The prices that I received, you put that on?
I didn't, there was way too much to print. So Mike said no. He sent it out to everybody and asked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what everyone was sent out was their wrought iron, and everyone's been to either downtown Oxford or Rochester, and if you look, they have those wrought iron planters, the kind of fluted style. They're wrought iron benches. That's what I had quoted, everything in black. So my thought was that we could put the benches on the sidewalks and along here and on the other side to kind of balance out the road, put the planters up. Not putting planters on all 4 corners, because I don't know if anyone actually realized we lost a planter this winter all the way down to Frick Road. If anyone saw the guts of it, it went all the way down. So just trying to balance it out. So kind of skipping the 2 corners that tend to get hit the most for the delivery trucks. Did you print off?
Yeah, I think everybody should have gotten a copy at some point in their
We did.
emails.
If you guys want to see, so you understand, this is my quick map. I'll pass it out to you guys if you want to look at it and share it. But again, it's trying to balance out everything. Excuse this isn't, it's a rough, but it gives you an idea of,
We have the businesses up there.
yeah, where everything will go. I was able to get a company to come in around, what was it, $5,500
Yeah.
for everything, which was amazing because most of the companies were quoting me up to $15,000 for the items. So with that alone, and with the money that I asked for from the village, that kind of takes the biggest sum of what we need, just to get those items. Because I have $3,000 from that we as the board said that we would put into the fund for the decorating committee, and then raising the $3,000, that will at least buy us everything that we need for the village.
But you don't have $3,000 from us anymore.
We had to pay those banners.
Right,
for
there's
those.
that 737 came out last year because there wasn't enough money last year, so you dipped into this year's budget. So that 737 is out of
I
that.
thought that was separate though, when I was asking for the $3,000 for,
No, what you see in the budget itself is what's allocated, and
It's 3,000.
there is,
It's not, that's not.
all
there's,
right,
In the budget,
there's $600 in there for labor as well, for
Right.
the decorating committee, but it's 3,000. So we have a little over, I think, 3,000 from donations,
yes.
and we have $2,300 from
Roughly 20.
roughly left in the decorating budget for the rest of the year. So any deficit would have to be made up from another line item if we do that, or you could scale back the number,
yeah.
scale back the number of purchases to accommodate the budget.
we can do that too. But I guess my next question is where these things are gonna go. Currently, we have rocks on the corners and in the paths, one on, in front of the Leonard Barber Shop, and one in front of, the Sinclair gas station, Perk station. What I'd like to do is have those taken up and actually have this more maintenance free, and put down cement. And I went out and I was able to get quotes for that. And I believe Farrell Contracting came in with the most competitive quote for us out of the 4 places I went to, 2 declined, and 2 actually gave us quotes for that. My question to you is that this is probably something that should have been done when the sidewalks were done and the road was done. Instead, for some reason, it was left.
Well, the reason was it was expensive. The more work we did, we had a budget that we had to live within.
Okay.
And that was part of the project, was we had to trim it to make it affordable. We could have borrowed more money, but then we would have been in more debt for a longer period of time. When the village borrowed $150,000 for the road project. We sold a municipal bond, and then we got $470,000 from the MDOT for rural roads that we didn't have to pay back. So that was our match, but that was all the money we had, and doing what we did used all that money. So anymore, if we had done that, we could have done sidewalks all the way up and down Leonard. But it would have just been too expensive. So that's why it is the way it is.
Okay. But is there a way for us to use the money that we have set aside for roads to be able to fix it now so that we have no maintenance on those 4 corners?
You mean improve the aesthetics rather than fix?
It improves the aesthetics. It also allows
Okay.
us the opportunity to bolt in the bike racks and also the benches, which is what we're gonna need anyways.
Well, Judy and I spent some time over this, over the past couple weeks. And any improvements that, like we're talking about, would have to come out of the major road fund. Okay? And the only place that we saw funds and a way to finance this, or at least partially finance it, is in the major account, we allow $8,500 for road markings, pavement markings every year. If we pare that down and use water-based paint, which we normally do, we can probably, what did we figure, Judy? Probably $4,000 out of that?
Right.
4,000 right there for pavement markings. I don't know where that gets us. Depends on which bid we finally adopt. But
Have you checked around to see if anybody, like Oxford's redoing, maybe they have things they donate to us for free?
No,
I don't know.
It-
To me, to put this money forth at this moment, when there's no sewers and businesses can't open, I don't know, it just seems kind of ahead of the game.
I think we hear what you're saying, Cindy. The thing is that over the past 2 and 3 years, we've had a lot of residents in here saying, why does the village look the same as it does 40 years ago?
I'm not saying not do any, not do anything, but maybe pare it down a little bit.
Well, there's equities or value in scale. We might have to pay $4,000 to do 2 of them and pay $4,500 to do 4 of them, because they've got to mobilize, get their concrete arranged. So there are some economies of scale there, but I take your point. I'm just I'm just worried that it has been so long since we've done anything, really, aesthetically,
I understand that, but
aesthetically
it seems you're
downtown.
spending- There's so many things that the money could go to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I respect your opinion,
No, I guess my thought
but
was,
I think it would mean a lot to the community too,
we pared it down.
to
Do you?
spruce it up.
Okay.
I do, I mean, we're doing it on a, we're getting donations, and we're doing it on a skinny, skinny budget. I mean, that,
I know
most,
that.
I guarantee you, what they're doing in Oxford is part of their MDOT program. See, that's an MDOT program, and they got the money.
Because they're an
Well,
emerald.
that's why so
Yeah.
lot if they had things
And-
they would want to get
Yeah.
rid of.
Well, I don't remember, a lot of the stuff they're doing is all new. They're doing like Rochester did, they're putting in those little islands in the sidewalks and stuff like that. There was really nothing there except trees at one point. I think those are gone now, so,
And don't forget, some of the stuff, even though I'm saying it's gonna be bolted down to the cement, we can move it. If sewers come in, we can move the stuff. The problem is that you have too many people that are complaining and how it looks down here. And you can see that by how much money was raised, that people want to see a change.
yeah, we had
Everybody
donations.
complain, that's amazing.
Well, believe me, we've had complaints, some pretty
And that's a very
emotional-
Conversations right there.
emotional conversations here. But yeah, I didn't do a breakdown on the statistics, but we had, some of our major donors were from outside the village. People would like to see, not just people in the village, but people would like to see improvements. And I think they put their money where their
Go
mouth
for it.
is.
As
So,
long as my taxes don't go up extreme,
well, no,
They don't go up at all.
I'm,
Trying not to do
and
that.
as
I'm making-
long as other things are done,
these conversations get to Judy and me, because, you know, we're the ones that have to wring the money out of somewhere, and we're early in the budget, and it's a huge,
oh, I bet Judy's good at it, aren't you?
it's a huge commitment for us to do something like this early in our budget. But we budgeted for it, we just, maybe if we had gotten a little bit more in donations, we would have wouldn't be borrowing from one fund to move to another. But I'm afraid
How
that's
much-
the only way we're
How
gonna
much
get
was
it
the
done.
cement now again?
23 or 2,700.
2,700.
For the cement? Oh, well then, we're there.
So that's if, this is going with Farrell Contracting. He, I have to say, was so on board with trying to help the village that he's actually donating some of his time.
That's-
Where I went to everybody and I asked them, will you donate your time to do this project? To be honest, out of everyone who we've had, he actually came through. So it's 2,700 for regular cement. If we wanted to do the exposed aggregate, it's 3,120. So again, still under that budget. And to give you an idea, exposed ag looks like that. Everyone I talked to, out of the concrete people, that's the exposed ag, all said the exposed ag would be the best to go with versus stamped or even colored or anything, because it will last the longest and look the nicest going forward, always. So it has the least amount of maintenance. So if not, then you just go with regular cement there.
Okay, well, let's, if the council understands the discussion thus far, let's break it into two pieces then. I think we can't go forward if we don't do the concrete work. If some of what we're doing involves using those areas. So, are there any questions from from those in attendance on what we've talked about? Anything's not clear? Did you see a map?
Yeah. there's a-
Okay. Because it looks like they've got your area will be dressed up a little too.
Yeah, we're excited. I hear that people are asking for donations of time to this project, and really maybe more than money. We're really excited about all this.
Great.
We bought business space here because we like the town and want to see it nice, and we have some time. So keep us informed, I guess. Yeah.
Sure.
We bought the commercial space.
Yeah, I'm glad you
We're-
did. Well, it's sitting at the-
Yeah, we're.
Okay,
we're
so-
tenants.
So I guess first I'd like to address the cement. I'd like us
Okay.
to vote if we can do the cement or not,
Okay.
without
I think
affecting what I have.
that's
How
logical.
much was the ag?
The ad was 3120
Yeah, we do.
and the regular was 2700. And he also understands that I've asked everything to be done prior to Strawberry Fest, because my whole goal is to have everything done actually by June.
So I don't mean to jump ahead, but the placemaking grant can potentially fund that. Because that was up to 5,000 that was possible. I just have to make it a very fancy, GMAR, I belong to the Association of GMAR, which is the Greater Metropolitan Association of Realtors, and every year they offer up an opportunity for anybody who works with the city, a real estate agent who works with the city, to give a grant for something that makes the city look better. Last year we applied for it and we missed, I can't remember what project was chosen, but we missed by, we were number 2, so we just missed it. But they have 2 different grants. I believe it was 1,000 and they have 5,000. They try to do the most amount of upgrades to a city with that money. I know that if I put it in for cement, that'll look very boring. So
Yeah, no,
I have to make this
Right.
really shine like a bright new penny and be desirable.
If you were to put it in for benches, garbage cans and stuff like that.
That's what we tried last year, but I would do it again based on the fact that we found monies and we are now trying to get those
We're
last few
dovetailing it
pieces.
in with
Yeah,
other
show-
improvements to make it.
to show some efforts on our part. That would allow maybe decorating committee to fund cement and placemaking to take over benches.
Well,
But I won't know the answer for too much time is the
the
problem.
bottom line is if they're willing to donate for that, the village can certainly go ahead and use its major fund. We see, if that's road work,
If
it
it
has
was
to go
replaced.
through the road, it has to go through our road budget. So,
Oh, gotcha.
and we can commit now, can't wait, I don't know how long.
I know, I
don't
can't remember how long it
Yeah.
took. I'll take a look
Yeah.
at how long it took to
But,
answer that.
If the council wants to move forward, we can do it tonight using the monies that we've got right now, although I think we're a little shy on the park equipment, or not. Couple $100, Judy?
Couple hundred up, but I can take away a bench. And my other thought, what I was talking with Alex for a second, is I can go back, I can hear it now. What I'd like to get is, you'll authorize me to buy X amount. I've got the decorating committee on Wednesday. We'll pare it down. We'll make sure that it stays under that amount to put out.
Well, you know, Jennifer, this amount, there's $800 going on there. There's a PayPal transfer coming through on this month.
Right,
So it's like $3,800.
right. So what I could do is, because I also know that I need to set money aside for Christmas unless I do a fundraiser to bring in some money for Christmas. But again, who knows where we'll be with COVID, if we can do our normal Christmas.
Right, well, that's, I think Strawberry Festival is the closer hurdle.
Yeah,
That's later in our meeting, but.
right, but,
Well then, if I can interject then, I think we should at least ask, try and pass a motion to do the cement work. And quite frankly, I think the aggregate is worth the investment as far as appearance goes downtown. Too many city centers are just nothing but blank concrete. So this would add some texture and some style to it. And then on top of that, if we do that, then we have a basis to move forward with the benches, et cetera, et cetera. So we,
Right.
so
Okay, go ahead.
So then I would suggest that we pass a motion, or a motion be made to authorize the concrete work to be performed in the aggregate style by which vendor is it? Farrell? In the amounts stated?
Which was
3,100.
3,100 even?
3120,
3,120.
right?
Okay. And that money come out of the major fund. So, is there any questions on that motion? Anybody else?
I'd like to second that.
Who made it?
Sounded like you.
Okay, I guess, okay.
I thought you did.
I maneuvered myself right into that. Okay, I'll make the motion then. And then, who was second?
Jennifer
Okay.
Arundel did.
All right.
I thought I second it, right?
Apologies, yeah.
Motion or second it.
Okay, so motion by McDonald, second by trustee or trustee Arundel. Are there any questions on the motion on the council's part? Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, could we have a roll call vote?
Certainly. Trustee Arundel,
Yes.
trustee Swack,
Yes.
trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
President McDonald,
Yes.
trustee Southerby, yes.
Okay, so we've authorized
Yes.
$3,120,
Who will contact him? Do you want me to contact him?
preferably, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, before we start discussing anything else for the bench work, you had asked me about the mill, getting the mill electrified.
Right.
Okay, DTE came out and everything there has to be replaced and the old stuff has to be removed.
Were they saying we have to do the removal?
Why are we doing this right now?
Because that's all part of the decorating committee.
No, that's a different project. That's related to the mill. And we'll use mill funds for that, Judy, if we
Oh,
do.
okay. All right, I thought it was all part of that.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's part of the overall scheme, but not this particular project.
I just wanted to put some money figures out there.
Right.
for the meeting.
And we will later. I've got that on my,
So then what I would like then is permission to go ahead and purchase up to at least $4,500 if I can have permission to spend that on benches, bike racks, planters for the downtown area.
shipping.
And with shipping.
Does that include shipping?
That'll include shipping, because I understand. That'll give us
Correct.
enough money to help us with the labor, which I know, sinking everything in, which I'm hoping that we'll just have volunteers that'll want to come and do it. It will also help us with, because I'll need dirt to fill the pots, we'll need dirt to fill those, all of that. And with the concentration down here in this area for decorating.
I think from a budget point of view, you've got the money to do that. There is, so. So then is that a motion to authorize trustee Arundel to authorize the expenditure of up to $4,500 for the purchase of downtown products
Yeah.
for the decorating committee?
I would like to motion that I am allowed with the decorating committee for us to purchase up to $4,500 worth of items.
I will second that.
Okay, so
To change the motion just so that you have not to exceed $4,500. If you said $4,500 worth of items. Be a stickler here. Sorry.
okay.
I will still second that. I will still second that.
Okay, Jennifer, you're okay with the amendment? Okay. All right, so, and you're okay with it?
I still second that, yeah.
So there's a motion by trustee Arundel, supported, or second by trustee Swack, to authorize up to $4,500 for the purchase and shipping of amenities for the downtown project.
I do have a question for you next on the amenities.
Well, can we,
Oh, sorry.
is this going to help us with the vote?
No, I'm sorry, I thought we already passed that, sorry.
No, we hadn't voted yet.
Okay,
so-
sorry.
No, that's okay. Okay, is there any questions on the motion? Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, could we have a roll call on that motion to purchase park items, benches, etc.?
Trustee Swack?
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby? Yes. Trustee Arundel?
Yes.
Okay. Jennifer, you had something for,
Yes, my question is, I've had businesses come and ask me, wonder if they want to purchase things with us. Can they pay us for the items that we'd be buying? So that way it's all coming on one shipment. Like somebody might want like an extra bench, or somebody might want an extra planter or an extra bike rack in front. Can they purchase them because
through the village?
through the village, through us?
That's doable as long as they understand that it is considered a donation.
Okay.
Okay. And they can donate the exact amount of money, for that item, preferably before ordering it.
Right, to do PayPal, that way it doesn't exceed the 45 would be sweet.
That would be the right way to do it.
Okay.
If they looking to purchase it for their own personal use?
No, it's to put in, like we've said, like we want to do one bench here. And they're like, well, I want a planter too, or I want 2 planters. And I'm like, the budget might not allow me to do that for you. And they're asking, I'm willing to pay for that.
As long as they understand that it's treated as a donation.
Okay. Which they might like better, so.
Well, it's tax exempt. So,
Right.
if they were to buy it themselves, they'd be paying taxes for it
Right.
as well. And plus, that would be difficult for us because we control the right-of-ways. We don't generally like to give someone else permission to put something permanently on our right-of-way. So we can do it and be covered, but if somebody else does it, and we haven't authorized it, then it's problematic, so.
Okay.
If I may, we are some of those people. And so we're really excited to talk about what we can have put in front of 4466 and 4470. So at some other time this meeting, if you want to get together or email or something, we'd love to talk about those options.
I think Jennifer would really like to talk to you some more.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
And Jennifer knows how to get a hold of me.
Okay. Okay, so are we clear and ready to move on?
I
Okay,
think we spent enough. I think we spent enough, yes.
I think so. Okay, this is an informational item, but to our newest resident, Addison Township has an annual spring cleanup. Due to COVID last year, they didn't do it, but this May 9th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., there will be dumpsters and trash compactors down at the township parking lot, taking no charge. They'll be taking junk, debris.
Not hazardous materials, though.
No hazardous materials, but they will have a shredder there from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. as well, if you have private documents in that. And this is all because living in the village of Leonard, we are also Addison Township residents, so we get the same benefits from that activity. So again, that's May 9th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, number 9 is in regards to our sewer appropriation application. Basically, I'd appreciate the support of the council to authorize me to submit the earmark application for sewers for the village of Leonard. This would be in the amount of $2.5 million appropriation. we have the drain commissioner, our county commissioner have all signed on. The drain commissioner agreed on the amount. He said that's a good estimate for what we would need. And it's significant enough where it gives us some standing, because we do have the limitations on us from the health department already on what stores and what businesses, how we can use roll and haul. So it would benefit the public greatly. So basically, unless there's additional comment from the council on what they would like to see, I'm just asking for authorization to proceed. And you did get the one-page document, which is basically the initial requirement for that grant or appropriation. So the actual application will just have supporting documentation on the amounts, and also from the residents and commissioner. I did ask for support from the county executive, but I have not heard anything yet, so that remains to be seen. So at this time, a motion to authorize the village president to submit the congressional earmark application on behalf of the village for sewers would be in order.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion by trustee Sotheby, second by trustee Kennedy. Are there any questions on the motion from the council? Anybody else? Okay, hearing none. Can we have a roll call on that, please? When you're ready. No hurry.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby, yes. Trustee Arundel?
Yes.
Trustee Swire?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Okay, number 10, an organization referred to as Clean Michigan has asked our support to submit a petition to Congresswoman Slotkin for the purpose of showing support for reducing carbon pollution and moving towards a clean energy economy. Basically, they're attributing flooding in the United States and other damage as the impact of climate change. I did not feel comfortable signing. This letter was sent to elected officials, and I just did not feel comfortable signing as village president without coming to the council and see what is your feeling on whether this is something the village wants to get involved in or not. It is a Michigan, activist, but I don't think it's. If I were to submit my support or decline to support it, it reflects on all. It reflects on the community, and they didn't send this out to all citizens asking them, will you support this? So I don't want to betray the confidence of the council. So if you want me to respond to this, yes or no, a motion I would need a motion before I would do anything. So if there's no motion, we'll just pass this by. It's entirely up to the council.
I would say pass.
Well, there's no motion. If there's no motion, I'll set it aside. I mean, permanently. Okay, thank you. Number 11, I neglected to do this in January, but I'm going to rectify that now. Annually, the village president is supposed to submit to the council a council member to be president pro tem. I'd like to continue, and I hope you will continue to support Shar as president pro tem for 2021. And I'd appreciate a motion to that effect.
I'd like to make a motion to support Shar Sophie as President Pro Tem for 2021.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion by trustee Kennedy, a second by trustee Arundel. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to appoint trustee Shar Sotheby as President Pro Tem for the Leonard Village Council, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Thank you, Shar, for your service. Okay, the next item is the annual meeting calendar for the Village of Leonard. This consists of not only our meeting date.
12. PC appointment.
You know, that was crossed off.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry about that. The Village of Leonard, our council dates, the park meeting dates, the planning commission dates, the Pollyanne Trail, which we don't approve, but we acknowledge them, the Oxford Addison Cable Commission, which we also approve, Decorating Committee, and the Leonard Summer Festival Committee. And then Shar wanted to add,
The Addison Township Historical Society.
okay, is that a new one? Is that something new?
Well, you authorized me to go ahead with it.
Okay,
A historical
Okay.
group.
well, the
And
council did,
people
yeah.
from the township joined, and they feel that we have more clout if we do it as a township endeavor as opposed to just the Village of Leonard. So,
Great.
the first meeting will be next week on the 21st at the Leonard Methodist Church. And I don't remember the time, I think it was 10 o'clock.
What date was it again?
The 21st.
I wrote the note up to post it, and I can't remember the time.
I've got
I think
it,
it's 10 a.m.
I've got it, I saw it.
Wait a minute, is the planning commission dates aren't in here?
Yes, they are.
They are in here. They're the third Thursday, so
1 to 2 p.m. for Addison Township Historical Society.
That's because of work stuff, that's why it's that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so are there any questions on the council's part about the dates for our meetings or,
Well, we have the park meeting listed on here for tomorrow night, but
It's the
outside
20th.
listed for the 20th.
which is right?
Okay.
That's why I don't like it.
April 13th. Well, let's make it the 20th. We'll modify that one.
Okay,
So for the park meeting dates, April 20th will be
at 7 p.m.
at
here.
7, right? Okay. If there are no further changes, additions, whatever, is there a motion to approve and adopt the meeting dates for 2021? 2022?
To approve the committee meeting dates for 2021.
I will second that.
And 2022? Partial.
Right.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion by trustee Kennedy and a second by trustee Swack to approve the meeting dates as adopted. Is there any questions on that? Okay, all in favor of that, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay, the meeting dates are adopted. Okay, and then Alex, you wanted to talk about sidewalk?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about doing an assessment again this year of the sidewalk condition and reprioritize what budget we've allotted for the sidewalk repair, or prioritize the areas
Okay.
to get sidewalks repaired.
Okay, when do you want it? Next meeting?
Sure, yeah, we can.
Okay. I'll try and, Don and I will try and get, if Don can't do it, I've done it with him, so I know what to do, so.
Yeah, I think it might be good to, maybe if we could try and tie it in with, the Fourth Strawberry Festival this year, even if we could get the work done, because then that way we've got some new areas, and then we can maybe put up a thing that says, hey, you want to donate to sidewalks too, as well, so.
Your tax dollars at work.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will make a commitment to have something ready for the council by a week, hopefully a week prior to the next council meeting in May. Okay. All right. Okay, that I think covers all of the new business. Under old business, I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledged,
Personnel 14, the grant.
Yeah.
Are we not doing 14, the grant? Is that coming off the agenda?
I'm gonna put something in
what,
for that placemaking grant.
oh, for yours? Did
Yeah. No, that's
we-
okay.
Oh, I apologize.
Because I pulled it forward and then we kind of pushed it out, which
Okay,
is
yeah.
fine. So somebody had suggested, I think when we were decorating committee, had suggested a train playscape over by the mill.
That
Big,
came from conversations with Shar.
oh, okay, there we go, that it was a,
Actually, it came from the kids at Leonard School.
And, well, it came from a conversation I had with you
Right,
that
but
I
I'm
just
saying,
shared.
it is actually on paper, a document that we have, that these kids wanted a playscape, and I saw one.
and I did see them, they fit the budget, I
Yep.
can ask for that. So
Yep.
if, do I have to go to the mill committee to see if that's okay with them?
Well, it'd be the park committee,
Park committee, okay.
so, got the
Okay.
boss here, so.
Me, I'm not on the park committee yet.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
not park, yeah.
No, yeah, it is a park,
I'm decorating, but if you
Yeah.
want it from the decorating committee, yes, let's
Well-
go forward.
yeah, it'd probably be a combination of the both, would probably work the best to coordinate that, if that's, to make that happen, if that's up
I
there.
think that'll make the biggest impact, and I
I
think
mean,
that's
and
what
it's-
we're looking for.
It looks like a train.
It does.
With either one or two cars, however many we could fit into the budget. But it's a playscape for children to just climb all over. That's what they're intended for, so.
Okay.
And it looks like a train, it would be sitting next to a train station, so.
Did I miss this at the beginning of the meeting?
No, you did not.
No, you
Okay.
did not.
Okay, okay,
Put it on.
okay.
No, we just didn't get that detail. It was either
Okay.
that or we were gonna ask for some.
It was, yeah, it was
Okay.
either,
So-
yes. Somehow I was spending some money, I was asking
Okay.
for money, so.
So
Yes, I need that cement.
how about we create a pro tem, or a ad hoc committee with trustee Arundel, trustee Swack,
For,
I don't know.
And-
Just keep getting added to committees.
and,
we're on decorating, so.
well, I'm just trying to formalize this. Shar, you
Oh.
want to be part of that? You're the resident expert on the mill,
I don't know
for
how
sure. And just so that you guys can maybe come up with a plan.
I'll come over one day and talk to Charlotte, because,
Yeah.
well, just to get an idea, because I'll have to submit, just like we did last time with the pictures,
Right.
sketches, whatever I can provide to them to show what it's gonna look like. And just make sure that we have a spot for it that makes sense.
And
you know.
if I can support, let me know, but I will wait.
Maybe
till-
in writing, I do have the last one that we wrote, that you had written for the placemaking grant, and I planned on making it similar, so I'll run it by you before I
Okay.
actually submit.
Okay, and just let me know if you want this on the next meeting. as
No,
a-
by the next meeting, we've already submitted it,
No,
because
it's
it's,
already done.
it's,
Oh, okay.
it'll be the end of, it's due by the end of this month.
Oh, okay.
So-
I didn't know
I
that.
have 15 minutes.
I know you do. Okay, is that good enough then?
That is
right
good
now?
enough.
Okay,
I'm gonna roll forward.
okay, sounds good. All right, moving on to old business then. It sounds like we had, I think it was stated earlier, we had 43 unique, at least 43 unique donors to the downtown fund. And I think on behalf of the council, we want to formally recognize them and thank them for their interest and their support. Literally putting their money where their mouths are. And I want the council to know that I made sure that every person received a thank you. Jennifer, trustee Arundel helped me with that, to get that, make sure that was all taken care of. And so,
And they appreciated that, getting that acknowledgement.
oh, absolutely. It's-
And, I mean, they're all everyone who's contacted me is very excited with what we're going to try and do.
I think we'll all be, in the end, it'll be a nice thing for our village, that's for sure. Okay, moving on. DPW, we already had some discussion on the signage. We do have some other road work chores to perform. One of them is crack sealing. I was in contact with the company that did our crack sealing last year. I've asked them for a quote to do all of Elmwood Street, but I made a note that since the eastern part, a little slightly more than half of the road is still relatively new, there shouldn't be too much crack sealing needed. So hopefully they'll be able to do a better price going west on Elmwood Street. And I also asked them what a touch-up on Forest Street would cost. I don't think we'll have the budget for all of that, but if we can do Elmwood Street, and then we'll jump back to Forest Street next year.
There is a small pothole started on Elmwood too.
Oh, there's several.
Okay, one that I just noticed. I
Yeah.
didn't see any others.
Yeah.
Get bigger tires and you'll go right over.
I just avoid it.
But Don's been out trying to do some road grading and upkeep as time permits. Okay. So for my report, we had one Freedom of Information Act, which I responded to. The village attorney has indicated that there have been some changes to the FOIA laws, basically because of COVID. You're allowed to do certain things electronically, but we haven't updated our local policies to reflect that. So I'm not going to ask for your authorization, but I just want you to be aware that I'm going to have them go ahead and make those changes, and I'll resubmit it to the council when that's done. We had no applications for block grant fund use. Ordinance enforcement, I had one complaint about somebody driving, not go-karts, but not mopeds, the little carts?
The go-karts?
No, the two wheels, mini bikes.
Mini bikes.
Around on the trail and on Whitehead Street.
We saw a quad flying north on Pollyanne Trail over the weekend. I mean, flying. I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Well, those abuses unfortunately do happen, but I did investigate this complaint because it was specific and it was another resident apparently that's doing it. But I talked to some of the neighbors and they didn't have any complaints either, so it appears it was just this one incident. So I didn't take any further action on it except to let them know that it had been looked into. And that was basically it. I did want to tell the council that the village was awarded through the SISMA, the Combating Invasive Species. They're going to spray Phragmites along the Pollyanne Trail and smaller areas, maybe not quite, they might be like on the village parkland or on the trailhead. So that's going to be done at no cost to the village, and they're also going to be...
harmful to animals?
No, this is supposed to be the non-aquatic type spray. They're not, I don't think, it's safe to use near fish and wildlife. So this has been ongoing in Oakland County for several years now.
I know the one year they sprayed, they didn't get the signs out till after the fact. And people me for one with my dog, up and down the man.
Yeah.
Did not appreciate it.
Well, I'll try and get the word out if I do hear when they're going to be around.
Yeah, we can post it on the website too.
Okay.
Maybe we can even convince a corner building to put up a nice sign on the posting or something. Maybe Dave will help us out with that.
I did want to update everybody. There's still been no decision on whether the Strawberry Festival is going to go forward. Chief Morosky with the fire department and myself and the festival committee chairman Kyle's staff have met a couple times and exchanged emails. The earliest that we can probably have a decision would be mid-May, mainly because with the current escalation of cases, it's hard to say what's going to happen, and predicting what it's going to be like at the end of July is going to be even tougher. But the committee needs to know because they obviously want to retain the entertainment and get all of the amusement rides and balloons and air stuff, air toys. So, but I just wanted the council to be on the same page that it'd be nice to move faster, but I think at this time we just have to move cautiously until we have more information. And then Addison Township Supervisor Pearson approached me about installing one of those radar speed signs for the Leonard School. The deputies apparently came to him and said that the parents in some of the buses are the worst offenders going back and forth on Elmwood. So I very happily struck while the iron was hot and agreed. They will furnish the equipment and the pole. The village will be responsible for installing it on Elmwood Street. It'll probably be down somewhere this side of the school.
I don't have to worry then.
No, the deputies are going to kind of pick the spot. It's a solar machine, so there's no wiring, so it'll just be cemented in place, and that'll be it. And
So it'll be a permanent thing.
Yeah.
yeah, and the supervisor and I have talked about maybe doing it again next year. And in fact, if our budget's up to it next year, maybe we'll buy one as well as.
Is it like a
install one.
slow down, like Dryden has going into Dryden?
I believe it is. I think that's the ones they're exactly
it's-
like that. That's where they got the idea.
Gotcha.
So hopefully that'll get done this spring as well. And then Judy just touched on it, but the mill, the electrification of the mill, I didn't know if Jim had, our electrical inspector had been looking into this, what we would need to do. And Judy, did he give you a quote or anything for
Yeah, he did.
for removing and installing?
Yeah, he started out at 1,000, and it has to be on a pole. They will not let them, you can't put it on the mill with the condition the mill is in. So it would have to be a pole with outlets attached to it.
There would be no equipment in the mill? Like we
You know,
couldn't
I
have
don't
a
know where
circuit
they're gonna,
box?
they have to put a box up, so I don't know
Okay.
where the box would be on the mill. or
It'd have to be on the
post.
side of the, I'm guessing it'd have to be,
I
but
guess we
they're,
have to talk to him.
Yeah, so I got him down to 550.
Oh, okay.
Look at you.
right.
Yeah. And I'm hoping before long, he might be doing it for nothing, but I don't know, but he said he'd do it for
Okay.
550,
Well,
which includes the box and,
Oh,
which I think is a deal.
that's actually not bad then,
Okay.
yeah.
well, in order to expedite that, if the council would authorize the expenditure of up to $600 from the mill fund, so that we could get moving on it if he's available to do it. I think that would help us all out.
I would like to motion that we offer up to $600 payout to get electric to the mill.
Is there a second?
You want to specify where it's coming from, right?
Oh, yes, from the
From the
From the
mill
mill
fund.
fund.
mill fund.
I second that.
Trustee Swack, second. Is there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, could we have a roll call for that, please?
Sure. Just let me finish
Sure.
writing.
And thank you, Shar, for taking minutes tonight, and Judy, Cindy's absence.
President McDonald,
Yes.
trustee Sotheby, yes. Trustee Arundel,
Yes.
trustee Swack,
Yes.
trustee Kennedy.
Yes.
He also made the remark that the connectors that are on the mill are kind of antique. So he wanted to know if we wanted them, so when we get the mill fixed, that we could put them in there, and I said, sure.
Yep,
Yeah, good answer.
yeah. We could probably save everything but the wires that are frayed.
Okay, moving on.
No, since we're on the mill,
Uh-oh.
can we motion to try and get quotes from the Amish to come in and fix the foundation? I don't know.
If you, I have no connections.
We're going to
With-
Brown City.
Brown City, yeah.
Okay. You don't need our permission.
Okay.
I think you can go right ahead and do that, authorize that. What's council's pleasure?
Would that be okay with the mill? I mean, as a historic building, does that work?
Well, as long as they do it in a
In the historic-
workmanlike manner. I mean,
Okay.
if it's gonna stay stone,
I mean, no one's gonna make it as true to, true to
yeah, you
form
would
as.
think not, yeah. No, that would be fine.
Well, I guess what I think they're asking is, do we need somebody else to kind of supervise, or do you feel that their work would be okay,
Oh,
considered the age of the building? Is that what you're sort of saying, or no?
It's more of a, you know, being that the mill is historic and it has to have a certain type, do they have to be, I know there's certified contractors. You know,
yeah.
would they be okay to do this type of work? And
I think we could ask the county architect.
they may be the
to-
one
Yeah,
person who,
he would be able to oversee it
Okay.
and say yes or no.
Yeah.
But,
That's not,
but I'll make a motion to authorize trustees Arundel, Swack, and President McDonald to solicit quotes for repairs to the foundation and
And
use it.
besides,
on the
Yeah,
sides, yeah. Because it, just to square it up and
Yeah.
not have pieces hanging off.
if not, if we can't get it, can we motion to get those couple jagged edges cut off
yeah,
before strawberry?
that's been my plan to do that right along, so
Do we want to ask for volunteers to come help us?
I will probably do that. It will only take a couple people to do that much. so,
If you want to give me some dates, I'm more than willing to put something out on the Facebook pages
Okay.
and ask for help.
We can do that without outside of the motion, so,
Okay.
so if everybody's clear on that, so that the motion is to solicit quotes for repairs to the foundation? All in favor of the motion?
We did not do
Motion and
that.
support?
you made the motion.
I will support.
Okay.
Trustee Swack, second.
And then I have another question about the mill.
Okay, all in favor of the motion to
Aye.
procure? All,
Do you need a roll call on that?
no,
Okay.
I'm lost. All not in favor? Say no. Okay, meeting's running too long, I'm losing
Right.
it. Okay, more. I know what you were thinking.
Say a word.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you wanted to add something there?
I'd like to move the barrels for the mill from the corners, the 3 barrels that we have.
Oh,
5
oh, yeah.
barrels there. Move them there, and this is where I need to get, can we have, that we could buy to put, you know those trees, those decorative, like little trees that go in planters? They're green, they don't take a lot, they take a little water every now and then. If we put those in there and put those on the cement around it, it might stop some people using that as a skateboard area.
They
I
have
tell you,
it
you know
all the
what?
time.
They pick the bench up and move it as they choose, even though it's chained there. They move it as they choose. I probably should zip my lip, but
But I'm just trying to help to make it, it actually will help it look a little nicer there, but 2, it might also, if we can set them in front of some of the areas where the concrete's really broken, to stop us from having trip hazards.
Well, we usually pay for that out of the decorating fund budget. For flowers, plants, when we were doing the signs and stuff.
Okay,
So I don't know,
Well, let's just at least get the barrels moved down there then, and
Yeah, we
then
can
we'll
get
worry
the
about
barrels
dirt
moved
later.
down there, no problem.
Okay,
But,
We'll figure a way for the rest of them.
yeah,
okay.
let me know what you want to do and how much, and I'll see if I can come up with some funds
I think there were 5 or 6.
outside our
homes there
budget.
today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll find a way.
It's just gonna get worse as the weather gets nicer, so I'm
Yeah.
just trying to,
And I agree with you.
and maybe if we can come up with a sign and put Avion Mill,
No
you know,
skateboarding.
no skateboarding, no GME,
Okay. All
and
right,
that might help.
Oh, I can hear it now. I can hear it now.
there
And
goes,
guess what?
glad
You won't
you
get the
guys-
credit, I will.
No, I'm just referencing, I'm just trying to make it
No,
look
I
nicer
I
there.
know,
No,
but
we-
I can
we
hear
have-
it when you start messing with the kids.
we're in a position of liability.
Yeah,
Anybody
big time.
using that property, so.
They don't get that though.
New Baltimore has a wonderful skate park. Go there.
Yeah, my thing is more of the trip hazards. Because I got out there and I'm like, you have handicapped parking, but a handicapped person should not be walking
Absolutely.
anyone near around there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a story behind, there's a story behind
Even
that.
said that. They're like, no one should be
We
walking
used,
around here.
we used to have a resident that was handicapped, and she, before the road work was done, she would park right there in front of the mill and get on the trail in her wheelchair, and,
She's still.
and she, well, she wanted a special spot, so that's why we put the handicap sign up, so that she was worried about getting a ticket or the police. So she was happy with that, but I don't think she's still in town, is she?
Yes, she
anymore?
is.
Is she? I haven't seen her.
I do all the time.
Okay. Okay, so we can move on then to trustee committee reports. The Summer Festival Committee, I'm going to give the update because I attended the last meeting. There, as you heard me say, there is no, the festival is planning on going forward, but they've adopted a schedule of events. In case you had heard otherwise, the parade is going to be at noon, and they are still talking about having fireworks. That is very tentative, not because of popularity, but because of liability and location.
Where would they do that?
You don't even want to know.
Oh, jeez. No, I don't.
No.
You know what? Let me just say something.
Don't get fired up, Cindy, it's
No, but you
okay.
need to know this.
We gotta handle
about
it.
the park, which is probably out there, that's all right.
Well, they're looking for locations. One of them is a school, and the other one is a private residence on Rochester Road. Fire department has final say, we have final say on a community firework, but the fire department they've got a lot of hoops to go through before they can have that type of activity, so we'll just have to wait it out. Cable Commission, anything new or different there, Shar?
No, it's same old story, just different day, and nothing really got resolved. They had a closed session, which I missed because I went to the wrong location. Because they changed everything because of COVID. And I read Oxford, did not read Oxford Township. So anyhow, I got there after the closed session, so they had their meeting, and at this point, nothing has changed.
Is that good or bad?
I hope it's
From our,
good.
okay,
And the person who was causing so much difficulty chose not to even be there.
okay,
So,
sounds
That
good.
was you?
yeah, that was,
Okay, thank you. Decorating Committee, boy, I think we're done, haven't we?
Yeah.
Worked that one over pretty
Work
good.
it all over.
North Oakland Transportation Authority, there's a meeting this Thursday. It will be in person. I don't know of any big changes. We are supposed to get a couple new buses to replace old ones this year, but I'm not sure when that'll happen.
you might tell her, I think there were 2 of those quads that went down the trail. So, and if they're
I
going
wouldn't be
north, they
shocked.
probably live up that way.
Yeah.
And they were young.
Planning Commission, Commission Chairperson Leslie McKenna said that they have no business this month. So I'd like to make a motion to cancel the April meeting of the Planning Commission.
I will second that.
Second by trustee Swack. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of canceling the Planning Commission meeting for April, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay.
Are we still looking for 2 people to join the planning commission?
Yes, I had indirectly contacted one resident and have not gotten a response back, but that was early last week, so I'd like to touch base with them one more time before trying to find, but I still do have one vacancy on the planning commission for a resident, if anybody's interested.
It doesn't take up a lot of time.
And it's a really good way to get to know people and get to know the
Billy's the
village. Trustee Swack is on the planning commission, so she can attest to that.
And
So,
they don't meet 12 months of the year.
No.
for at least
And
4.
this is one.
This is
you're
why-
not on.
No, I think, yeah, I was gonna say 4 times a year.
4 times a year is the minimum.
Is the minimum, so
And usually only when there's something that comes up.
I don't think it's ever made it to an hour. I think it's,
Where can we learn more about this planning commission?
Talk to this lady.
Talk to myself or to Jennifer, depending on
Right. Other Jen.
your interests and your background, and we
Let's
can...
get contact information before we leave.
Sure. Well, you're there, you're in the village hall, so this is where everything, this is the nerve center
This
of
is it.
the village of Leonard here. So, yeah, after the meeting, you can grab my phone number, that might be the place to start.
Great.
Okay? All right, Pollyanne Trail Council, there's a meeting this Wednesday. If you haven't been out on the trail here in Leonard, there's been a tremendous amount of work been going on since mid-February right through now. And they are done, but all of the trail's been widened, the trees have been taken down and pushed back from the trail itself. We've gotten the state required height so that like an ambulance or whatever can get down there if there was a need.
You know what it does me? There are probably 8 or 10 places where those steel rods that go down through those beams on the side are sticking up about that far. If a child...
On
somebody
the
fell on
equestrian
it,
trail?
Yes, it
Oh.
could put their eye out. It's serious.
Really?
Yeah.
is that, can you just
I
take a
didn't
hammer
even-
to that,
I've
or is
never
it
noticed
something bigger?
You have to show me,
Okay,
'cause I don't know.
yeah,
It was
Okay.
probably hurt horse pretty good too.
yeah.
Can you mention the bottle drive?
What bottle drive? Oh, there's a, teasing. Judy and I have been, in my capacity as on the Pollyanne Trail Council, and Judy is chairperson of the Oxford Addison Youth Assistance, we got together for a bottle drive, which with any luck, it'll be a huge success. It already is, we're doing quite well. And maybe it'll be an annual kind of event. But if you have any pop cans or bottles that you don't need, we're,
Take beer.
and yeah, beer, pop, any deposit
Any
type.
deposit bottles.
I was to say, as long as you don't judge.
Yeah,
I'll
no, we're
drop it
not
off.
judging.
I didn't know there was that many copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bottle drive's going on until Thursday.
Where do we drop off?
The Oxford DPW, it's behind the police station.
Behind the village offices and police station there for the village of
It's
Oxford.
on the east side of the building, south corner.
There's a large, used to be the fire hall. On the east end of that, there's a sign out there that says bottle drives.
Gotcha.
Just drop them there.
Cool.
So the other day, I was almost drunk from the smell of the beer
I'm
bottles.
sure you were.
Take them back.
I'm very consistent. I just don't want to be judged.
Yeah. Okay, the Village Park, we have a meeting the 20th at 7 here at the Village Hall. And Community Development Block Grant, everybody got their,
Hits off.
what?
The village park. We had a huge tree from the park come down and take out 2 corner posts.
This is the first I've heard of it, Cindy.
Well, we're not asking you to replace anything.
You just want to make us aware of it?
Yes, you
Okay.
need to check the trees or something, because if one should happen to come down, in the area that my horse is in won't be happy, then you will be paying.
Okay, well, if you happen to notice a bad condition like that, we haven't been in there since last fall, anybody, we haven't done any work. So I would not have noticed anything. But let me know, and I'm sorry that
It's kind of
happened.
still there, just so that if Danny wants to come chop it up,
Is it big? Is it
Oh,
on
it's
your,
huge.
is it on your side or the?
part of it.
Okay,
I will send him down.
okay.
And I'll tell you where it came down at. They do have people going back in that area because they're geotracking. They put a geotracking little doodad back there.
Okay.
And we've seen kids back there only because my goose.
Yeah, the alarm system.
No, I love him.
Okay, yeah, if Dan wants some help, tell him to let me know.
Okay.
Get out there. Okay, and that's how we do things in Leonard. We do it ourselves wherever we can. Okay, and then everybody got the block grant report.
Yep.
We still haven't been allocated the funds from last year. That's why you see 2020 is still zero, but I would expect that to happen in the next month or two. So, and that
Is there information that I can get from the office on that?
as far as what?
Application or
The criteria to apply for it.
what would qualify,
It's-
who would
It's
qualify?
low, middle income, and yeah, it depends on the income, the number of members in
That's
the
what I'm saying, is
household.
there something you have that,
Yeah.
okay, I'll get a hold of you.
We basically have what the county gives us. And our particular program, our use for that money is minor home repair, which is basically emergency repairs for people that qualify. We've done wells, furnaces, roofs, just whatever
Major
a resident
appliance
needs. Yeah,
needed.
a failure that they
Can't
would
get
not
through the
have
winter.
the savings to cover it.
Would that work for church property too?
No. No, it's based on individual income.
Well, there's people that live in there and their income, the lady you were talking about that needs a handicapped parking lot lives there.
Okay. Yeah, I'd have to find out from the county on that
Lives
situation.
in the church?
If they don't own the
It's the
property,
house next to the church.
if they don't own it, Cindy, then no. If they don't own it, no, then it wouldn't
And the
qualify.
church couldn't apply for it themselves.
Not that I'm aware of. I can ask, but I'd bet right now that the answer is no.
If the church owns it, they don't pay taxes on it, right?
Right.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm just asking because I know there's been a lot of repairs done on that place.
Okay,
Christmas in Action might be a place that you could ask for help.
Christmas in Action?
Yes, and the village is part of that,
Okay.
and they do minor home repair for those who have needs.
Okay.
you can contact me about that, Cindy, if you find anything else out. I'm also on their board.
I'll talk to them and see what they want
Okay.
to do.
Or if you want me to talk to them. Or I'll go with you, whatever. Okay, we did get one correspondence from Seventh-day Adventist informing us that they will be in the area.
Oh,
So,
don't come to my
So,
door. I don't want-
unfortunately, that's all I have.
It's just funny.
If I hang on, I could make it a 2-hour meeting.
No, what about
but-
the no-has?
She's,
What-
you have one more.
Well, announce it.
Snow has at Oxford Middle School, Saturday, April 24th, across Leonard Village, $10.
8 a.m. to like 2 p.m., was it?
8 a.m. to 2, I think it
Yeah.
is. But there's, you
You
have to fill out,
It's well worth
And
it.
there's a $10
Yeah.
charge.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely, yes, it's well worth
you
it
have to
too.
have a ticket, you have to fill out a form online.
Jennifer, are you aware of the village website?
Yes.
Okay. Because all of this information, most of this information is on there too.
And there's also on that no-has website, it'll tell you what they will take and what they won't take. And I went last year when I was down at the county and got in the line and thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be here for hours. But they're so
It was pretty
organized. You really go through fast.
because you can't get out of your car, they just tell you, stop, open the thing.
Right. Okay, move on.
Yes, get out.
Yeah.
I rock out another
We're
10.
We're short a motion to adjourn.
I will make the motion that we adjourn.
All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no.
Me.
If you say no, it's a threat of your life. Alex will come out of that chair.